Spread your love and hear what I'm saying now. Spread your love and hear what I'm saying now. Spread your love and hear what I'm saying now. Spread your love and hear what I'm saying now. Spread your love
hello, grand peaceful rising. That is how I want to greet you today, Vooka Nation, because you know what? We are still in Africa Month. And of course, we have been celebrating Africa for this whole month. Of course, you know me, I go by the name TC Gamazbugo Shalabalala, your prime cut creative and your positivity dose of the day. Umam Shengu Omuhle Indlovukazi Yagwantu. You know what? The beautiful and engaging woman that gives you that energetic start to the day. Of course, I am never alone because you know what? Vooka breakfast mornings are about team effort. Mweketi my money. How are you, my brother?
I'm good. Thank you so much. In the spirit of Africanism, we're still celebrating Africa Month, and I hope you right there at home, you had a very wonderful weekend whereby we want you to share with us how did you celebrate your Africa Day as it was yesterday on the 25th of May. But we did it in style where we went to Morika Isaacson Center for Music, where we brought you that beautiful broadcast, man. It was beautiful, and I just can't wait to share that information with you. But without wasting any time, you know that we bring you everything that has to do with improving you as a person and as a tourist, which is your bucket list, where to travel. So you know that is picture of the day. We've got something special for you, and I hope that you guys are going to travel in the spirit of exploring what South Africa and Africa has to offer. So in today's picture of the day, we have the Maropeng Cradle of Humankind Museum and Sterkfontein Cave Experience. They offer a fascinating journey into human origins. Located in Mogale City, Gauteng, South Africa, the Cradle of Humankind is a UNESCO World Heritage Site known for its rich fossil discoveries. The Maropeng Visitor Center features interactive exhibits that explore the evolution of humankind, including boat ride that takes visitors through the story of life on Earth. And when it comes to the Sterkfontein Caves, famous for the discovery of misplays and the little food, provide insight into early hominid fossils dating back millions of years. Guided tours allow visitors to explore the caves and learn about the archaeological significance of the site. However, due to the recent flooding, the caves are currently closed, and tours focus on museum experience, man. You know what, TC? One thing about the Maropeng in the cradle of humankind, it will make you feel like you're out of this world. So tell me, have you ever been there, man?
Yo, Mo, it's mind blowing. You literally walk through the story of life on Earth. There's even a boat ride.
Ah, man. And also the Stekfontein Caves, man. That's where they found the little food and misplace, as I have said in the beginning.
Yeah, well, right now, of course, you've mentioned, the caves are closed due to the flooding. But the museum alone, Mo, what I can tell you is worth the trip.
Yeah, man. And I can tell you that if you love history, fossils, and just want to feel connected to something ancient, go visit Maropeng. To enhance your trip and make things a little more easier for you, Tswelopele shuttle service has got you. So I just want you to check this ad out so that you make sure that you and your friends enjoy the trip.
Escape the ordinary and discover the extraordinary with Swellapil Tours. Whether you're a group of friends or a family looking for a memorable getaway, Swellapil Tours has you covered. Our all-inclusive tours take you to South Africa's most stunning destinations, from the scenic beauty of Mpumalanga to the vibrant life of Gauteng and the coastal charm of Durban.
All right, it is 33 minutes after 7 o'clock, and you are watching the Vooka Breakfast Show with me, Mweketi Maimane, joined by TC and Steven right there, right here on the Vooka Breakfast Show. It is a beautiful Monday, and as we have kickstarted the show with celebrating Africa Month, and of course, yesterday it was Africa Day. So we've got a lot of things that we just want to share with you on how we spent hours, and all you need to do is to share, with us your experience when it comes to Africa Day. How are you doing, guys, this morning on this beautiful Africa Month?
Doing well, man. Doing well, man.
Yeah.
It's your boy, Stephen, LXRD_47. Stephen, nothing is ever even. Yes, sir.
I love that. And of course, man, my morning is amazing. As the sun rose over the horizon, I was reminded about why I love being African. I love our sunsets.
Yeah.
I love our culture. I love our diversity. I love our land.
Yeah,
and
man.
course,
TC, I think I'm not picking you up, ne? So I think there's something we're just going to do, ne, just to fix everything. Confirm with me.
I can't even hear myself.
Yeah. So, just to, to do a little bit things easier, I just want to share, a video with our viewers right there at the Maurice Isaacson Center for Music, where University of Michigan came there and performed live orchestra in front of the audience. It is an experience that you missed, but we are here to bring you what you have missed. So just sit right there, and I want you to check this out. But before, let me just make sure that everything here sound-wise is good. Then we're good to go. There we go. We're good to go. Then, enjoy the video. Amen, amen. That was your University of Michigan Symphony Orchestra right there with that electrifying performance, man, in front of the audience at Morris Isaacson Center for Music, man. It was beautiful. I don't know how you guys felt with that, but I was moved, man. I was moved by just watching it right here and being there to experience it. But now I'm kind of feeling it because we were doing much of the work, moving around, setting up the cams. But now when you sit down and listen, you're like, wow, man, this is beautiful. Yeah, man. Yo. So with what you guys have had, what's your take, man, on this? How do you feel? Is it your type of music, or you want to Scott my Puma right there, to do them things, it's music that you once, just visit. Just to bring back your thoughts. Just let me know, man, your thoughts, man, on this.
Yeah, man, it's beautiful sounds indeed, bro. I had FOMO, you know what I mean? I had FOMO, but yeah, man, listening to the sounds, it's beautiful music, man. It's music that I'll like play on a Sunday, spring cleaning vibes, just to let it's like a breeze for the brain, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's amazing, man. It also reminds me of like these cartoons, Tom and Jerry.
Yes, I thought about that while I was there. I was like, this is so nostalgic, right? Because all you hear are those the chords and the keys, and I'm just thinking it transports me back to growing up, and I was like, yes, I am experiencing nostalgia, and yet I'm also experiencing a moment in history. I think what Morris Isaacson Center for Music does for those children is amazing. It hones, cultivates, and develops their musical talents, and it is a showcase of what Africans can do, particularly South Africans can do. We are talented in Soweto, guys. Soweto is, a hub where there's diversity, there's talent. There is so much right here at home that even, some of the members from the University of Michigan Symphony Orchestra, when I spoke to them, they were so grateful. They're like, we thank you for letting us in on your culture, on your diversity, on your heritage, and of course, being right here in South Africa to celebrate being African with you guys. It speaks to, honestly, Mo, I know politically we're fighting, but as people of nations, we are able to come together and do amazing things. And music is a powerful tool to do that. I've always said creativity is a catalyst for self-expression and can be a catalyst for change. And what happened on Saturday at that Africa Day fundraising festival for Morris Isaacson Center for Music was, what they did there cannot be undone.
Yeah, man. It must have been crazy.
It was wild. It was amazing, Stephen. I wish you had been there to see it and experience it in person.
A lot of things took place, man, because the atmosphere was set, especially for people, or if you were someone, you went there for the first time, the atmosphere was set for you to be welcomed and understand the power of what music can do, man. Because when you got there, the first performance was from the Ubuntu Jazz Collective, man. Those kids can play, man. Those kids can play, trust me. Because I remember those guys from the university, they were outside at 10:30 when the Ubuntu Jazz was playing, man. And they felt, this is the right place they needed to be, And also the conversations that were going amongst the musicians themselves. You can feel that this space is different. It's not just for everyone. Because when they start to prepare, when they rehearse, amen, the energy, the tone changes in the room, So... that's why with everything that happened,
the tone was set from the beginning. Everyone knew how things were going to go, man. And yeah, man, following up, it was I think people enjoyed people like Bo Tubatsi, you know, Jack Lerole, and also Kaya Mahlangu.
Oh,
you know,
yes.
live performances.
Veteran, and he actually teaches children there. He teaches music, and I swear, you could see and sense that what he does it with a passion.
Yeah.
It's a calling for him. You know, when you meet, when your purpose and your passion unite, it makes for a spiritually moving experience. And I loved watching one of our greatest teachers right there at the Morris Isaacson Center for Music doing his own thing, being an example of what he's trying to impart on the learners and the students right there. I know, you know, he does a lot of performances in and around Mzansi, and I would love to watch him again. Same goes for your Tubazi Muloi, because that for me was sonic storytelling. That performance for me, I just understood. It had me, man. It was spiritual for me. I won't lie. I won't lie.
Yeah, man. If you did not join us, do not despair. Do not despair anything, because we've got also exclusive interviews that we did right there, where, you know, we had people and also the students from the University of Michigan, you know. TC interviewed them. We also interviewed Memara Low, you know, who has done a lot for the industry. We know her from our big screens. You know, she was there. We got an opportunity to be in a conversation with her, and it was wonderful, man.
Yeah. Did you know, Stephen, that Mara Low Thompson, that's her full name, and usually they've spelled her correct name is spelled with an H, but because of, you know, her stage name, it's now they dropped the H and it's Mara without the H. She started her career in the Soweto Gospel Choir. Did you know that?
Oh, I didn't know that. That's interesting.
Yeah. I was quite impressed with that conversation that her and Mo had, because, you know, she's a legendary South African creative who has been a singer and an actress in some of the biggest productions that we know right here in Mzansi. And of course, she's become a powerful voice in the fight against apartheid, and you know, through her music and her activism in her creative journey. And, you know, even during that conversation, you could still see she was like, you know, Amanda, Aluta continua. You know, yes. Maibuye Africa was her last words, and I couldn't resonate deeper with that parting word from her. You know, Maibuye Africa, can we please, Ma Africa, unite together as we did on Africa Day, and, you know, continue the fight for liberation, because essentially that's what Africa Day is about, because it was originally known as African Liberation Day.
Oh, for real?
Yes.
Oh, didn't know that. That's nice to know. That's nice to know.
Yeah.
But you know, I mean, I had a conversation with her, because I asked, you know, what does Africa Day mean to her?
Yes.
Because to people, you know, they haven't grasped the significance of celebrating Africa Day. But now let's bring it to the table, guys. On what do we think it means for us, so that we know that we say the wrong things and we must be corrected when we say the wrong things. But for me, man, I think when it comes to Africa Day, man, we celebrate and we look deep into what we have missed along the way, because, you know, some of the history was erased for some of us to not know.
Hey, we don't know much of the things that happened.
Yeah, because
true history. I'm not talking about the one that is being constructed in order to serve a certain narrative. I'm talking about our true history as Africans.
Definitely.
Yeah, man, because one of the things that I was always interested in knowing is the African civilization, you know. And I have followed people like Abu Ubaba Credo Mudwa, just to follow the story, when you hear him spewing that knowledge to people into what happened when the Europeans got here, back in those days. I think when we celebrated that day, it also, gave that significance and a reminder to people that as Africans, we must be in our own room because we are the ones who relate with everything that's going on around us, because the reason we have different cultures is if we sit down, we share, cultural significance. Sometimes we get culture shock. Amen. But when you have someone who's an African, that's why, when people from Zimbabwe, Mozambique, they come in, it's easy to relate with them. It doesn't take time, to relate with them.
So as Africans, we have that bond.
Exactly. Yeah. We have that bond in terms of...
It's in the DNA.
It is in the DNA, man.
It's in the pop,
Yeah, man. So I think in contrast, that's what I think Africa Day means to me. But I know there's more, in which it will need a 2-hour podcast.
5 hours.
But yeah, we're just giving each other that piece, 2 cents of what we think Africa Day. Man. So I don't know for you guys, what do you think, man, Africa Day is, in your own definition?
So in my own words, I'd say Africa Day is like a day where Africans should unite, unite towards a certain goal. Whether it be helping students with a certain project, or whether it be the community coming together for like an event, a community event, or whether it be family, friends, just a day where Africans get to unite, no conflict happening, you know what I mean? Just togetherness, Ubuntu, Yeah, that's what Africa Day means for me,
I love the theme that, Morris Isaacson had for this festival, and it was Africa Rise. For me, it sums it all up because it's about, celebrating African identity, African culture, African heritage, and African tradition while showcasing what African means, what Africanness, or what being African means individually, so for all of us, because there is not one way of being African, and that is one thing that I revel in when it comes to the identity of being African.
Yep.
I love the fact that I am not only but just UTC, but I am the voice of my ancestors.
Yep.
I am the reincarnation of my ancestors. I am their wildest dream. And I am a representation of them and what my surrounding, the earth that I walk on, my skin color, represents the soil beneath my feet, soil that I walk on. My hair, is my expression and the love that I have for myself. It's everything that I am. Do you understand? And I love that, just from the young ones right there at Morris Isaacson Center for Music, when we asked what being African to them means, you could tell that it's for them. One of them, from the Ubuntu Jazz Collective was like, it's about pride. It's about taking pride in who I am, in my African identity, and of course in my African culture. Owetu, who does the social media for the Morris Isaacson Center for Music, was like, you know what? I'm Xhosa. I have not really immersed myself much in, my heritage and knowing who I am. Yeah. But I blended into my style and how I express my modern, and how I express my modern sense of style in my creativity, in the art that I consume. I show it in the way I represent myself. And I'm like, yo, girl, I am for that. I love that, because it comes in different forms. And we've seen it in Afrofuturism. we've seen it in festivals like Afro Punk. You know, how people are revolutionizing what it means to be African, and how, you know, we come together and express that. And of course, music and storytelling has been one of the oldest ways that Africans have communicated and passed down information. So what better way to do that than to unite in music?
Spirit of Africanism, man. And we would like to invite you to the conversation on what Africa Day means to you. All you need to do is to connect with us throughout our social media platforms. We are now live on Facebook and YouTube. Use the hashtag Vooka Breakfast Show, and also you can dial us in or send your voice note on 060-493-3226. That's the number that you can send us your voice note on, just to tell us, in your own definition, what does Africa Day mean to you? And I see right there we have Ms. Tembimni saying, good morning team, hashtag Vooka Breakfast Show, hashtag Sivugile on a new week, new day, and of course, new Monday. Have a blessed one, hashtag Vooka Nation. And then she comes through and saying, awesome. I think that awesome goes to the University of Michigan Symphony Orchestra right there doing the things. But now, as we asked ourselves, what does Africa Day mean to each one of us? Right now, I just want to play, and also invite someone who is most decorated in our screens, which is Memaralo on, an exclusive interview we had with her. Let us find out on what Africa Day means to her.
Yep.
Day. What comes to your mind?
For me, it's a reminder not to forget ourselves, not to get confused about being who we are, Africans. Not to try and abandon our Africanness and adopting other cultures that have nothing to do with Africa. We can embrace other cultures, but we don't have to adopt them and make them ours. So it's very important that when this day comes, in fact, Africa Day should be every day. I mean, for me, every day I'm an African. I'm not going to wake up tomorrow being a European. Or even Japanese or Chinese or whatever. It gets more exciting because I'm sure you know I was married to a British man years ago, a Scottish man, But there was nothing Scottish about me except the husband that I'm married to. And what we used to do, he used to love African cuisine, food. And he used to love attending everything that has got anything. And then one day, somebody said, some of my visitors, actually it was Lindsay the Market, my best brother friend. He said, Mara, you are a pigmentarily Scottish African.
Wow. Beautiful. Beautiful. I mean, when one hears that term,
Yeah, man. So I think, in her own definition, it's like embracing who you are as an African. Even if you can meet someone and marry someone from Spanish, you don't have to change your accent, TC. My name is TC.
Why are you saying TC? Why are you throwing it over here? No.
Yeah, but in contrast is embracing yourself, because a lot of people are literally scared, man, to embrace themselves, because there's that thing that, what are people going to say, man, when I'm wearing this Xhosa attire, Tswana attire, Zulu attire?
No, but that's where we speak appropriation, remember?
Yeah.
Cultural appropriation, and that has been an outrage where with the black narrative, where it has been said our culture, our traditions, our heritage has been appropriated for financial gain, for wealth that has nothing to even do with us as African people. But that's a conversation for another day, because we always have to give thanks and give back, and to acknowledge where we get certain things from. And I'd love the word world at large to acknowledge us. As you know, you said the picture of the day today was the cradle of humankind. We are where humankind started, where life on earth started.
Yeah. Quick question, if you're born in Africa, regardless of your race, are you still African?
If you what?
If you're born in Africa.
In Africa.
You could be white, Indian, But if you're born in Africa, are you African? Can you celebrate Africa Day?
I think you can, man, because now you have indulged and you have got yourself into learning ways and you practice the ways of being African. Because there's this debate that's going on. Let's say if you are an African, you move to Europe and then you stay there for you grow up there. You're going to be labeled as African European or African American. But if a European comes in here and they stay for a long time, what do we call them? Are we calling them European African or they have turned African? So with that one, it differs, man, and it's broad. I think it's still being spoken into. What does it mean being African? I mean, it's also practicing your ways because there's what we call the spirit of Ubuntu, which is ours.
I can easily sum it up for you. Being
Please
African
do,
is operating out of spirit.
Okay.
Whereas, I mean, we are spirit first. That's what we've been taught. And that was what we know as African people. It's our spirit, the way in which we come alive, the way in which we connect, the way in which we be. And of course, we've had people come here like Abu Robin Wheeler, who's spoken about being yourself for a living. Being African is like nothing else on earth. Even an Indian who grew up in South Africa, who goes to India, you can tell the difference. Yes, it's the spirit in which you operate from. But anyways, Mo, I know the Vooka Nation is probably wondering, what's going on in the world?
Man.
What's going on?
I think that's
in
a
the
better
world?
way. That's a better way to put it, man, for someone to understand. Because I think it's still a debate that people are still, talking about. That how do you label? What does it mean being an African? But with people who have been in the space for so long and have studied the African culture to the core and to the roots, they have written books about it on what it means being an African. But one thing that's nice about African and being diverse is you can also express it in your own words into what do you think being an African means. But you know that when we started, man, we were looking at the orchestra, from the University of Michigan. Now, let us go straight into two of the students who were part of the orchestra, which TC conducted the interview with them.
Hi, Vooka Nation. Of course, we are live here at the Morris Isaacson Center for Music and the University of Michigan Symphony Orchestra, right?
Hello.
Yes. And your name is?
I'm Onda Jiang. I'm from Michigan.
And you?
And my name is Valerie Shu Friedman.
We had a wonderful time listening to you guys play. So as far as being here, how have you guys found the experience? And what do you think you have learned about Africa Day just by experiencing what you have experienced here?
It is so wonderful. It's amazing. The people in South Africa are lovely, and I feel so lucky to be here on a day when we are celebrating your identity, and so grateful to be a part of this diverse experience. And it's been so wonderful to meet the students and the staff here at the Morris Isaacson School.
And of course, I'm sure that they feel the same way. And how have you found your experience? Because I'm hearing her, but you. Yeah,
it's a similar experience. Everyone has been so welcoming. Everything has been such a new experience, and people are so happy to have us. We're so happy to be here. And as for Africa Day, it's just so wonderful to celebrate with you and experience your culture in your country. So it's just been a wonderful experience.
Okay, so if you could describe this day in one word, what would it be?
Fantastic. Happy.
Happy and fantastic.
Of course.
Yeah.
How do you feel?
It's been wonderful. It's been happy and fantastic. And of course, you know what? We enjoyed the music. Don't you go anywhere. Don't miss a beat because they have to go. And more of what they are going to do will be broadcast on the Vooka Breakfast Show, guys. I hope you have enjoyed your time with us. Don't go anywhere.
Thank you.
Wonderful, man. Wonderful, man. Just one way to describe everything that happened there. Happy, fantastic, man.
You see,
Happy,
I told you it's a
fantastic, man.
spirit.
Yeah.
It's a spirit.
Yeah.
Being African is a spirit. Do you understand? There's a certain spirit in which you carry as an African that you cannot find anywhere else.
Yeah, man.
I mean,
Yeah,
it also comes in the way in which, you know, like we've always said here on the show, how, you know, we turn our pain into laughter. With comedy, we've seen how our comedians have exhibited, you know, the spirit of Africa in the way they you know, take their take on culture and our different cultures and tradition, and you know, they make jokes out of it. One of those people was Keketso Hutamo, who calls himself the diluted Shangani. I mean, just that in itself,
Like Africanness.
you understand? Those are things that you can only understand as a South African, moreover, just as an African. So, I mean, come on, it's a spirit, like I said.
The ambience of the place was lit.
Yeah, it was amazing.
The energy.
Switch on your mic, Stephen.
Oh,
You're not African. No, and I'm
Ah,
Is it all?
Why are you not
Are we on
exhibiting?
now? Are we on now? Oh,
We are
come
on.
on. Come on. Things happen in life. Things happen in life. Ubuntu guys. Ubuntu guys. Ubuntu guys. Things happen, eh?
Yeah, man. Yeah, but in all contrast, man, I just love how, you know, people from other countries they come and experience what African people do.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
in general, because you know, they were like, we just love how South Africans are welcoming.
I told you, it's a spirit.
It's
we are
what we're
very
taught.
open.
Yeah.
We're welcoming, and it's something that's been used
Yeah,
against
man.
us in the past.
I mean, every time.
It's something that is amazing because it's what makes us who we are.
Yeah, not just South Africans only, Africa as a
Yeah,
whole.
as a whole.
Because every time people from other continents come to Africa, they just feel this warm energy, loving energy. You know?
I remember Kelly's who was saying, like, when she went to Kenya, like, she just loved the atmosphere and how people, they were so welcoming and were so open and were so loving. Even though, you know, she cannot speak the language. She isn't even, you know, she didn't grow up here. There's not, you know, but they were so open and welcoming, and she just felt right at home. I mean, I guess that's also why, you know, American artists love coming here.
Yeah,
the African American artists, they love coming here. The motherland.
The motherland.
I'm in the motherland, man.
Motherland.
Feels great to be here. Yeah, but you know that the interviews kept on going and conversations were had. And speaking of conversations, TC also, you know, went and conducted, you know, an interview with two gents who are going to share, you know, with you guys right there at home what they think Africa Day is and their involvement on how they got to be there. So let's enjoy this one too.
Nation, you know what it is. It's Africa Day. And of course, we are still here at the Morris Isaacson Center for Music. And I've got the Ubuntu Jazz Collective. I got it right? Yes. I love it. And of course, they were the opening act right here for this celebration of what Africa has to offer for music. And can you please just introduce yourselves to the Vooka Nation?
Hi guys, my name is Owen and I play the guitar for the Ubuntu Jazz Collective. And
hi guys, I'm Lisoletu. I play the double bass for Ubuntu Jazz Collective and the orchestra.
So here at Morris Isaacson School, our Center for Music, I want to know, how did you guys get to know of this place, and you know, how did you fall in love with jazz at your age? I mean, you know, jazz is typically known to be, you know, music for old people, you know. I mean, I'm sure you guys have heard that, right? Yeah. So now, how did you at your age fall in love with jazz, and how do you find the experience here at the Morris Isaacson Center for Music?
I started when I was 13, and in which I had an interest for playing guitar. And then one of the teachers here taught me how to play guitar, and so that's when I started to like jazz even more. And the more I perform, the more it's, that kind of thing where you start to like it.
Right, because I mean, the more you're in it is the more you find the love for it. And with you?
So I'm more of a classical music guy. So I came to this school to get the double bass, play the classical music, and then this guy is like, come to our practice, let's play jazz. I'm like, jazz? Okay, let's see where it goes.
Yeah. So for you, it was a let's see where it goes type of thing, but then you fell in love with it.
Yeah, the more I looked into it, the more I loved it. There's a lot of great jazz bass players like Ray Brown, John Clayton.
So those are your inspirational, that's where your inspiration comes from. Ah, wow. And who is your inspiration?
Actually, I started to like jazz when I got here.
Yes.
I played guitar because I wanted to play rock music, because I saw Eddie Van Halen in the TV. I was like, Mom, I want to be like him and all of that. And so when I got into here, I got introduced to people like Miles Davis.
Wow, Miles Davis. Lovely. I know of him, so.
Yeah, and so I started to do my research and go deep into the blues music and all of that. People like Robert Johnson, old stuff, like kind of that. And so I was like, I guess jazz isn't really so bad. It's everything.
So for young people today, being African means something different to how perhaps, the jazz legends would have described being African, because during that time, the jazz developed from the struggle. So with you right now, how would you describe being African is for you as we are celebrating Africa Day?
I guess it's a wonderful experience that we can express our culture, where we come from and all of that, and we can go deep into our history of music, that this is where we come from, so we should appreciate that. So I think it's a wonderful experience.
So you feel like our music expresses who we are as Africans. Wow, that is quite a profound thing to say at your age. And you?
When I think about being African, yes. I get a sense of pride.
Yes.
Like, I'm proud of who I am. I'm unique. There is nothing else that is like me, And even the Americans, they came here to experience this uniqueness.
Right?
Shared with us.
Ah, man,
and it's such a pleasure.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
It's amazing to hear young minds and young creatives speak that way about being African. Of course, Vooka Nation, don't go anywhere. We have so much more to unpack for you right here at the Africa Day Festival at Morris Isaacson School Center for Music. Don't go anywhere.
All right. Those were beautiful interviews taking place right there at the Morris Isaacson Music Center. But now let's keep you updated on your latest news. On your first headline, a suspect to appear in court for threatening Ramaphosa. The Hawks have arrested a 28-year-old man for making threats against the president, Cape Town mayor, and business women. The businesswoman reported the matter in Cape Town earlier this month. He was nabbed in Germiston on Friday and will appear in court on Monday. On your next headline, more police academy rape victims may come forward. More victims may come forward in the case of the police captain accused of raping a trainee. That's according to the state, as he applied for bail at the Pretoria Magistrate Court. The 59-year-old faces rape and sexual assault charges, but the veteran officer is dismissing the allegation, saying they are an attempt to humiliate him. National Police Commissioner Fani Masemola says sexual offences of this nature can't be tolerated at their colleagues. The matter has been postponed to 29th of May. On the next headline, Eurozone brings Zimbabwe back into fold. The European Union is shifting its stance in Zimbabwe. It accused Zimbabwe of human rights violation and imposed sanctions in 2000. But now it's calling for bold investment on our northern neighbor. This was the resolution after the Bloc's first business forum in Zimbabwe. That's all for your news headline. Now let's head over to your sports news. Starting off with Formula One news. Monaco pole, a big thing for Norris, but there's jeopardy. Lando Norris secured pole in Monaco, his first since the Australian Grand Prix, edging Ferrari's Charles Leclerc by 0.190 seconds in a tense qualifying session. Despite trailing McLaren teammate Oscar Piastri by 13 points in the championship, Norris sees this as a breakthrough. Though he stresses the need for consistency, he has worked hard to improve his qualifying, focusing on smarter driving rather than outright speed. His confidence has grown and he aims to carry this momentum into the upcoming races. Norris remains determined, emphasizing resilience and belief in his ability to perform at the highest level. Heading over to your rugby news, Springbok alignment camp lays strategic groundwork ahead of on-field preparations. Springbok coach Rassie Erasmus led an alignment camp for local and overseas players, focusing on cohesion ahead of the international season. He welcomed emerging talent and emphasized integrating younger players while valuing experience. The camp featured 54 participants, including 8 uncapped players. Erasmus highlighted the team's excitement and preparations for their opening match against the Barbarians on 28 June, their first ever home clash. With the 2027 World Cup in mind, Erasmus sees a mix of youth and experience as key to success. Players now return to their clubs before a packed season, including the Rugby Championship and end-of-year tour. On your football news, Nasreddine Nabi confirms plans for Kaizer Chiefs squad overhaul. Kaizer Chiefs coach Nasreddine Nabi confirmed discussions with chairman Kaizer Motaung about strengthening the squad after missing out on MTN 8 qualification. Chiefs finished 9th with 32 points, while Richards Bay secured 8th place. Nabi dismissed comparisons with the top 8 teams, criticizing their defensive playing style. He emphasized the Chiefs' commitment to an offensive philosophy suited for a big club, despite taking defensive risk. Recruitment efforts are already underway, and he is confident the team will improve significantly next season. Nabi remains focused on building a squad that aligns with Chiefs' playing style rather than adopting a defensive approach. On the next headline, Milan's futile win over Monza overshadowed by fan protest. AC Milan secured a 2-0 win victory over Monza but remain outside European qualification spots. Fans protested against owner Jerry Cardinal and club management, demanding change after disappointing season. Since Redbird Capital takeover in 2022, Milan has only won the Italian Super Cup. The appointment of the Paolo Frosca frustrated supporters, and despite replacing him with Sergio Conceição, results remained underwhelming. Fans also called for Paolo Maldini's return after his 2023 dismissal. A mass walkout during the match highlighted tension. CEO Giorgi Fulani acknowledged frustrations, with Milan now set to make key decisions about the club future. That's all for your sports news headline. Now, let's head over to your traffic news with the TC Wagwamazibugo, just to keep you safe on those roads. She is standing by with your latest traffic update.
Vooka Nation, let's keep you safe on those roads with your latest traffic update. There is congestion on the N1 southbound at the Olifantsfontein Road. All lanes remain open, with the queue backing up to the Brakfontein interchange, affecting the ramp from the Sanrand Avenue M36. There's another crash that has been reported on the N12 westbound before Tom Jones Road. The ramp from the Snake Road M45 is affected, with the emergency lane being closed. And now there's a stationary vehicle on the N1 southbound on the Donny Joubert freeway after Proefplaas. The ramp from the N4 is affected, with 1 out of 5 lanes being closed. And another stationary vehicle has been reported on the N12 westbound at the ramp from the Klip Rivier Drive R556. The emergency lane is closed, and that is affecting the traffic flow. So, That's all from me, UTC. For your traffic, if you do happen to be on the road, make sure to share your traffic update using the hashtags #Vooka Breakfast Show and #Vooka Traffic, or send your voice notes on 060-493-3226. And now I want to ask you one question. Are you ready to transform your week? Because I know we are. Because in studio, we have Saki Paddy to give you your Monday motivation. Don't go anywhere.
Such cool and amazing stuff happening here at the Morris Isaacson Center for Music here in Soweto, Central Western Jabavu. And I'm about to jump into a great conversation with someone who I've been consuming for the longest of times. I promise you the vibe out here is great and people are having an amazing time. The kids are enjoying the music and all of the festivities taking place right here for the Africa Day Festival that's being catered by the Center for Music. And welcome, Nikki B.
Thank you so much.
I appreciate you. You don't know how excited I am. So just quickly to find out, I mean, someone has heard your name on radio for the longest of times, or perhaps there's even someone who has just heard about you and learned about Nikki B. Just to tell them just quickly who Nikki B is and who you are just in the space of entertainment and broadcasting.
Sure. Well, I'm Nikki B.
Yeah.
I always say I was born an artist, by nature an educator. My background was in fine arts, but then music took me on a journey. And I'm probably best known for doing a show on radio, which is the World Show on Kaya 959. And I've been doing it for almost 28 years.
Wow.
As far as I know, it's the longest running radio show in the country. And the beauty is, I still play all my own music.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. Your show is as old as I am.
Yeah.
I promise you, and I love it. It is, and I love it, man. So you have been such a powerful voice on the airwaves for the longest of times. What do you think was the first thing that really drew you to radio and broadcasting?
Well, The music.
Yeah.
I mean, I started DJing in 1990. I'd been living in Swaziland and I came back to Joburg.
Yeah.
And I was taken to these amazing parties that had the worst music. So I started DJing. And then I got a little residency in Yeovil in those days.
Oh, yes.
In a little back street, a little back venue. And I started playing there every single Friday night.
Oh, wow.
I wasn't paid for 5 years. I just loved playing. And because of that, I was spotted, and the late Peter Makarube,
yes.
who was one of the legendary producers of radio and radio personalities,
yes.
he came to me and he said, we're starting a new radio. This was in 1997.
Yes.
Do you want to be on radio?
Yes.
And I'll tell you what, I think I was the worst presenter in the history of presenting.
Do you, though?
I was the worst. The music carried me. I was so nervous to be on air.
Do you feel like you used music for the longest of times as a clutch?
I used the music as a clutch.
Yeah.
And somehow the music, got me further.
Oh, man.
And then I got better. It took a while, but I got better at presenting. Yeah.
And you're one of the best, I promise you.
Thank you.
Promise you. So now, the creation of each episode or each broadcast that you do on a weekly basis, right? Because, the World Show has such a diverse sound.
Yes.
And I myself have learned a whole lot of new songs. I've come across a whole lot of new songs by just listening to you. How do you go about creating each episode and make it special for a first-time listener on a week-to-week basis?
And thank you for noticing that, because really I've never managed, even I've had that odd time where I'm traveling and I haven't got time and I better quickly, and I try, let me take a show I did 5 years ago. I can never. It always takes me on another journey.
Yeah.
So I've never ever done the same show twice. But I think a lot of it, I work intuitively. I work as an artist. And for me, working on radio, sometimes it's like I've got to feel what's going on. Some days I'll, prepare quite a deep spiritual show, and I'll think, is this too slow? And then I've kind of got to feel, what's the energy about? What's Joburg feeling like? Or maybe it's rocking, and is that too fast for today? Well, if my feeling tells me, if my instinct tells me, I'll go with it.
Yeah. Well, I love it, man. And I love how you also, from time to time, bring on artists that might not necessarily have that much exposure.
Yes.
Right? And you've worked with artists from all over, not just South Africa.
Yes.
So now, has there been a moment on the show where you feel like this has never happened to me before? It really stayed with you, and you remember it to this day.
Oh, there's many of those shows. Yeah. There's many of those shows. In terms of the young artists, there's so much talent. There's so much beautiful talent.
Absolutely.
And it's really difficult for young music makers to get their music heard.
Out, yes.
The market is saturated.
It is.
You've got a compiler at a radio station who's doing all the shows, so they don't always get to see what's lying underneath there. So for me, as much as I love having the legends on my show, it's also really important to give artists that first-time chance.
Absolutely.
And the joy of seeing them become names.
Yeah,
yes.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I always appreciate whenever there's live musicians in studio.
Yes.
And they either play their recorded music or they play live.
Yes.
I feel like there aren't too many spaces or platforms that do that, know, especially with the kind of music that you gravitate towards, the kind of music that you put out there, on a Sunday to Sunday basis. I love it so much. So, we're living in an interconnected world, right? And like you mentioned, the music is so saturated. So now, how do you define, especially with the title of the show, The World Show, and you specialize in world music, how do you define that specifically, world music, for someone who has never come across that term before?
Well, you know what? In the 90s, in the late 90s or the mid-90s, they started naming a specific genre, world music.
Oh, wow.
And there was a lot of, people were like, is this right? There was, a dissent. Some people agreed, some people didn't. And world music was really relegated to any music that wasn't mainstream American or maybe European. And it became this generic term. And it would, bring in fusions of electronic, indigenous. It would bring in real indigenous music. It would bring in different things. And that kind of stuck. I've noticed in recent years,
yes,
the industry as a whole globally doesn't like to use the term world music. They now use worldwide, which again, it's a bit of an issue because it just means you're not mainstream American and European music. But as the years went by, I started to love this term world music. Because if I wanted to play Marvin Gaye, well, he came from the world. If I wanted to play Fela Kuti, he came from the world. And as far as the name of the show, The World Show, I must credit that to my very first program manager.
Oh, wow.
He said, why don't you just call it The World Show? And that's how The World Show was born.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
I love
and he
that.
did give me problems. You can't play this music. We are an R&B station. And I said, I have to play this music. I play it live and I see people's faces. And that's why I know people want to hear this music.
And they gravitate towards it.
And they gravitate
Nomfundo Xaluva, in one of her interviews, mentioned that people don't care what the music is. I mean, don't get me wrong, as individuals, we do have music that we love or
Taste.
Genre.
Yes,
personal taste, right?
Yes.
But she mentions and she says that people don't necessarily, at the core of it, people don't care where the music comes from, what kind of music it is. If it touches them and it speaks to them, people will gravitate towards it. And I think maybe that's also what happens on your show, where someone might not necessarily be a jazz connoisseur or someone who loves indigenous sounds or all of that, but if it speaks to them, they'll stay and they'll listen.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Welcome back, Vooka Nation. That was Musi Mist in conversation with Nikki B at the Africa Day Fundraising Festival at the Morris Isaacson Center for Music. And of course, you know what? Rise and shine. See Vugile Mzansi. It's a brand new week. And you know what that means, right? It's Monday Motivation on the Vooka Breakfast Show. I know now if you're dragging your feet, right, or doubting your dreams, this guest who is joining me right here in the studio is going to lift up your spirits. I can feel it. You know what? Like I said, we as Africans, we are about spirit. And in my spirit, I can feel that Saki Padi is about to give you that much needed fuel for that rest of the week to transform how you view Mondays, and of course transform you. Join me as I welcome him on the show. Sanbonani Buti Sakipari Unjani. I am well. So to you, Vooka Nation, if you want to know who Saki Padi is, I have a little bio here that I can let you in on. He is a powerhouse, a motivational powerhouse, an entrepreneur, life coach, and the founder of Transform You, a man who believes in transforming everyday people into purpose-driven champions. So, Babasaki Padi, let's get it straight into it, right? What's one truth about success that you think people need to hear at the start of their week?
They must just know that no one is coming to save you. Success depends on you. This is all on you. You know, we watch a lot of TV, so you see on a movie when someone has to be rescued, they'll have their friends who are coming there, you know, and they're drawing up something to go and rescue you.
Yeah.
And maybe you think your life is like that. No one is coming for you. In the whole world, that no one is coming for you. You just have to stand up every day. For you to be successful, you need to start today. It doesn't matter what you're going to do, but you have to do it. You have, I mean, someone is in bed. Do you think that person is going to be successful?
No. Bayasho imali uzoyithola kanjani?
Exactly.
And I know, Guti, you know, through your work, you motivate, and ngicela ukuthi usitshele nje kancane about your mission behind Transform You.
The mission behind Transform You is to show people that you can be anything that you want to be in the whole world, but you have to start somewhere. You have to start as small as you are. You have to start where you are. You have to start where you are to be where you are going. And the only time you have is now. So there's no tomorrow. If you wait for tomorrow, you are lost. You have to start it today on this beautiful day.
And it's a beautiful day indeed. Of course, it's because you're joining us right here, about to talk to our Vooka Nation about success. So, success isn't a surprise, right? It's the result of repeated belief and bold action. So, people wait for motivation, but I say start with discipline. So, that's how you transform your week, I guess. So, I know that you've worked with learners in schools, coached CEOs, and built businesses. So, what's one mindset that you see in high performers that everyone can adopt?
High performers don't give up. The fact that you are struggling, it does not mean you are failing. So everybody, when you start something, you want to win at something, there'll be a lot of struggles, there'll be potholes, there'll be detours. You know what I mean? So when you go through that, it's just a struggle. But have you failing? Are you failing? And even if you feel like you're failing or fail at something, are you going to stop? Do you see a child when they're starting to walk and a child says, I can't do this, but the child falls every time they try to walk? They crawl and then they start to walk, they fall. But do you see a child saying, no, I can't do this, let me give up? Then they might not walk. So you just have to keep keeping on, whether you're falling or not, but you have to keeping on until you can walk.
Keep on keeping on. That's a great message for a motivational Monday. So, Babus Sakipadi, I know that you have this, globe that you brought with you, right? Yes, you know, it for me, it signifies something. I mean, the world is a big place. Yep. You are but one small part of such a big world. So how can one use that analogy to develop their perspective into a positive one?
Let's try to talk about, let's speak to Vooka Nation to today. I mean, this is Ed life, right? It's all over the world already. I mean, imagine Sakipadi all over the world. Anybody can access this one, can access this breakfast show all over the world. So I have the whole world in my hand. And even at home, you probably have the whole world in your hand. You don't even know it. Whether you are selling, whatever that you are selling, you have the whole market of the world in your hands. And we have this with social media platforms. It's how you use them that tells you where you're going. I mean, we want South Africans. I mean, somebody's selling quotas. I mean, we want quotas to be in England, to be sold in America, to be sold in Australia. But we have those kind of things. We have people with clothing labels. We have DJs who can go all over the world. But are we using the platforms in the correct way? Are we using the globe that is in our hands in the correct way? What are you doing to invest in getting whatever that you have in your hand? The talents that God has given you, the talents that comes from your family. What are you doing to take them to the whole world? I mean, the world is so small now. I mean, I have it in my hand.
You know what? I love that analogy. I love that so much. The world is in your hands, Vooka Nation. It depends how you are using that globe to make your life a better one. So, Babu Sakipadi, for anyone who might be listening and watching who is feeling stuck right now or unsure of where to begin, what would you say to them right now? I know you said start where you are, start with what you have. But then, expand on that more with the work that you do at Transform You.
The first thing you do, make up your bed. Wake up and make up that bed. And get out of bed. Get out of that house. You know what I mean? A lot of people actually know this, that no one is coming for them, but they're not doing anything. A little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of the hands, poverty will be upon you. Now you can't sit in the corner wanting things to happen for you or to you. You understand? You have to stand up and wake up. The first thing is to get out of bed. Make up the bed. Take a bath. That sunlight, Vooka Nation,
and ubakene, guys. I love that. Because even when battling with your mental health, the first step that I have been advised to do is get up, make your bed. Just by taking that one action, it shows that you are taking control of your life. Just by doing that one small act. So I've known that, you have said that there is no plan B for your purpose.
There's no plan B.
There is no plan B for your purpose. So, when we're speaking about that, there is no plan B for your purpose, what do you mean by that? Tell the Vooka Nation, Uguti, why do you use the words, there is no plan B for your purpose?
If you have a plan B, you won't put your all in your plan A, right? So you must always have just one plan A, and you must let the universe direct the only plan you have, and it will happen to you. You know what I mean? And let me give you an example of how I got here. Is that I've been thinking about it. I've been focusing on it. I need to do a podcast. I need to get heard. I need to speak to people. I need to encourage. People are so discouraged out there. People are in despair. You know what I mean? People have tried so many things, have failed at so many things, and because of that, I've said I want to say something to people. I want to speak to their spirit, and I don't know. I don't even know what I'm gonna say. I mean, coming here, I didn't even know what to write, what to prepare, what to plan, and I said I just want to be part of the universal intelligence and see somebody's in the world, someone is discouraged, maybe listening to my voice. It's not me changing you. It is just the God trying to do something in your lives, but you have to stand up. There's a saying, hallelujah.
Yes,
Hallelujah.
amen.
Hallelujah.
I love that because
Hallelujah.
I've heard that so many times as well. Uguti, uNkulunkulu usiza abasizayo. And like you said, you know, we are spirit. And you want to speak to the spirit of people, and you want the spirit of Amavuga Amahle and Mzansi, essentially, you know, to be encouraged, inspired to move, because people are feeling stagnant. They are in despair. They're feeling like Yazin Aksena Ndlela. Like you said, you know, there is no plan B for your purpose, because your purpose is not optional.
It's not optional.
At all. So when you know, like they say, who heals the healer? So what is your mantra for you personally? Because you know you've had a journey where you inspire others, where you talk to others and try to motivate them in life. But for yourself as Usaki Padi, what is the mantra you use for you when you are feeling stuck?
Whatever happens, keep going. Whatever happens in your life, keep going. Whether you lose a loved one, whether you lose a business, whether you lose a job, you are frustrated, you just have to keep going. And it's wake up another day and be grateful for another day. Now there's a hope for the living. The Bible says there's hope for a living. It says it's better to be a dog that's alive than a dead lion. Because when you are alive, there's possibilities for those that are alive. There is a hope for the living. The fact that today you are still alive, there is hope for you. And I know sometimes the situation or the circumstances or what you're going through or the problems or the mistakes you have made that you have not forgiven yourself for, and you feel they're heavy on your back. But at this moment, in this now, in this time, this very moment, there is hope for you. There is hope for you. God is able to take the poorest man from South Africa, you know, Kokoma Plasing, with no beautiful background. But when God takes you there, it's because you are standing, you are doing something. You have to stand up. I mean, we look at stories of somebody selling acha. Let me talk about this guy who sells acha. Now he has a restaurant. We have somebody who's selling spices. We have somebody who's selling whatever that they are selling. But it is going to change the way that God will take you from there to the world. You know what I mean? I hear you speaking about Vooka Nation, Vooka South Africa, in South Africa. I'm saying it's to the world. Let us influence. Let people in China say Vooka, and they've heard it from you. You understand what I'm saying? We can be an international brand. Anybody can be. This breakfast show can be listened to all over the world. It is already live all over the world, right? Aren't you live? Aren't you excited that you are so dope that everybody can have access to you? You know how many people are in the world who have access to you, who have access to your beautiful smile, to your eyes, and when you are thinking you have mental problems, you are thinking, hey man, you know, I was not raised by my father. I come from a broken family. Hey, you know, things are tough. I've been hurt so many times. This is what's been happening to us. Oh, really? You can change all that. I mean, you're still here. There's hope for you. Today, I know it sounds like just motivation, right? But it's how life is. You need to wake up because there's hope for you. Are you going to give up on that hope?
Never. And the aim is never to give up hope, because nobody can be you like you. And like Osaki Padi is saying, you know what? All you got to do is get up. Get up, make your bed. It's the little things that can take you anywhere that you want to go. And of course, dreaming is never about how small it is, but how big it can be.
It can be, yes. That's powerful.
Powerful words. Look at how the influencer is influencing me right here in the on the Vooka Breakfast Show, live in front of your eyes. And that's how motivation works. When you have the right kind of people around you, combined with the right mindset, you can do anything and go anywhere. And Sakipadi is a testament to that. He speaks much to that experience, because his work through Transform You as a life coach, as a motivational speaker, and of course, I think as a businessman as well. You know, he himself has obviously gone through life's tribulations to be where he is right here. And he says, so what is what parting word would you give to the Vooka Nation as we end this conversation?
It's all up to you. The world is in your court. Whether you have a brain that you're studying, and I know you have great ideas at home that you've written down and that you want to do. And you know in your heart, in your spirit, that there is more to this. There is more to this business that you want to do. And I want you to say that the world is yours. And I know that you started at a garage or in your small room. And I know that the circumstances and the situation does not allow you to. And I know you are saying you have a lot of problems. We have a lot of problems. I have a lot of problems. But does that stop me from trying again? Does it stop you from waking up another day? Does it stop you from pushing to get to where you want to be? You know this is all there is to life. You know this is not all there is to life. You know this is not all there is. It can't be. It can't be that you have been struggling. Your parents were. Are your children going to struggle? But you have to wake up. The message to you today is that you can have the world in your hand today. You just have to choose what kind of world you want to create for yourself, and what kind of world, and I'm asking you, Vooka Nation, today, what kind of world are you going to create for yourself today? And it has to start today. It can't be tomorrow. Tomorrow never comes. It will be Tuesday tomorrow, and you'll be saying tomorrow again. You know what I mean? You have to fight the procrastination that makes you, you know, stagnant and not wanting to start. So today, what kind of world do you want? What kind of message are you sending?
Oh, man. That is a powerful parting question to you, Vooka Nation. What kind of world do you want to see today? And of course, it all has to start with you. Thank you, Sakipadi, for giving us that powerful push into the week. And of course, into how we can step up and show out as we step into this new week. You heard it here first, Mzansi. There's no shortcut to growth, but there's always power in belief and action. So this has been your Monday motivation here on the Vooka Breakfast Show. Now go out and move with purpose and make this week count. There goes his world.
There goes my world.
Basically, he's thrown it out to you guys, and it's now up to you. Don't go anywhere.
Well, yeah, Sugar Blossom Memory. Yes. Wow!
Escape the ordinary and discover the extraordinary with Swell Appeal Tours. Whether you're a group of friends or a family looking for a memorable getaway, Swell Appeal Tours has you covered. Our all-inclusive tours take you to South Africa's most stunning destinations, from the scenic beauty of Mpumalanga to the vibrant life of Gauteng and the coastal charm of Durban.
Of course, course, we have just been in conversation with Saki Padi, who was going to give you that motivational push that you need to step into the week. I'm going to hand it over to him to close it off with you, Vooka Nation, as he is about to go on and transform more lives. Mr. Saki Padi, talk to us.
Oh, we have a company called Transform You. You can hear from the name, Transform You. It's all up to you, right? So Saki Padi, you can get me on Facebook, Saki Padi on Facebook, on Instagram, Saki Padi, on TikTok, Saki Padi. So you can follow us. And then let's work together to become better. Let's work together to transform our world. Thank you so much for having me. And I must say, you guys are a dope team. Thank you for the invite. I hope to see you soon, every Monday, I think. It will be great to see you. I hope the world knows how dope you are. I hope you know how dope you are.
You know what? Mr. Saki Padi has been making me feel like the greatest person on earth. And I guess it speaks to his power as a motivational speaker and as somebody who speaks to transforming people's lives through how he just makes them feel. I mean, we've just been speaking about the African spirit, and this man right here exudes what it means to be Umu Afrika. You know, that spirit of Ubuntu lives within you, Papa Saki Padi, and I hope that you know how dope you are. And I say again, thank you, Saki Padi, for flipping the switch for us here on the Monday on the Monday motivation segment, where you let our Vooka Nation, you know, flip their switch on how to transform their mindsets. So remember, the week depends on you. So it responds to how you started. So start it with confidence, courage, and commitment. Wherever you're headed, do it on purpose and with purpose. This has been your Monday motivation.
Thank you so much.
My name is Musi Mist.
My name is Moketi Maimane.
Catch us every weekday morning, Monday to Friday, between 7 and 10.
Right here on the Vooka Breakfast Show, brought to you by the Blinko Network.
Always bringing you the best content possible.
Vooka Nati, wake up with us and kickstart your day on a great note.
This is your energetic start to the day. Hey family.
Hi. My name is Tisiga Mazibugo Shabalala.
My name is Moketi Maimane.
My name is Musi Mist.
My name is Ketua Ketumgunu.
On the Vooka
Breakfast Show.
Every weekdays from 7 a.m.
to 10 a.m.
This is where we are going to have our topical discussion featuring various aspects from different fields.
We're going to take care of you and it's going to be amazing, man. Right now I'm on the set of the Vooka Breakfast Show, brought to you by the Blinko Network.
Do not forget to subscribe.
That's Vooka Breakfast Show on Facebook and all other social media platforms.
Vooka.
See you there.
A beautiful conversation right there before the break with TC Gomazibugo and Saki Padi, who is a passionate entrepreneur and a success coach. I hope that you guys enjoyed that beautiful conversation, because it is Monday. Everyone needs motivation, man. We are from a very beautiful weekend, which we were celebrating Africa Day yesterday on the 25th of May. And the conversation still continues, man. How did you celebrate your Africa Day? As we shared with you exclusive interviews we had with one of the greatest and most decorated people in the industry right there. So just let us know right there on the comment section on what you think and how did you celebrate Africa Day. Yes, let me bring you in inside our conversation right here on the Vooka Breakfast Show. I can see that comments still keep on coming, and let me read some of your comments. I have Zinzi Elizabeth saying good morning, hashtag Vooka Breakfast Show. Hope everyone is good this morning, and I can see the weekend was fantastic. Indeed, it was fantastic as we were celebrating Africa Day at the Maurice Isaacson Center for Music, where we were blessed with a performance from the University of Michigan and also Ubuntu Jazz Orchestra, right? And then Nelisa Mni coming saying good morning at the Vooka Breakfast Show. Hashtag Breakfast Show Sivugile. Danko. And then Mpanji TV coming in saying, morning, hashtag Vooka team. We are Vukile. So tired. I couldn't even today. I couldn't even Vooka today. Imagine. Anyways, Revugile. Hashtag place to be. Hashtag Vooka breakfast show, man. And then Mpanji TV coming and say, lol, I'm only realizing now that Musi looks like the guy on the background. Same hat and everything. Thank you, Musi. Yeah, that's a mist for you. And then I have TK 1990 saying, good morning, Vooka Nation and Breakfast team. Happy New Week, everyone, and hashtag Vooka Breakfast Show. And I hope you guys are going to have an awesome week ahead of yourself as we are beginning. And this is the last week of May. And then on Saturday, we're closing it off as the 31st of May. Then next month, it is June. Singene makazid manje sazobuya. But you know that when it comes to winter and coldness, Vooka Breakfast Show is dedicated into bringing you that energetic start to the day. Even not energetic, but a warm start to the day because it is going to be cold. Stay with us. It doesn't mean when it's cold, everything stops here. Everything continues as it is. Every weekdays from 7 a.m. up until 10 a.m. from Monday till Friday, we will be here with you. And then I have TK 1990. Oh, it's Hector Takalani saying, morning, Vooka Nation. Hashtag Sivugile. Hashtag Monday again. It is a beautiful Monday. Please do make sure that you stay with us and connect with us through our social media platforms. We are live right now on Facebook and we're also live on YouTube. The hashtag to use is hashtag Vooka Breakfast Show. If you want to send us your voice note or connect with us through our line, the number to do that is 060-493-3226. It's 060-493-3226. That is the number that you guys need to connect with us. That was a conversation with Mr. Sakipadi that just happened with TC. He's a passionate entrepreneur and a success coach. And those beautiful conversations do not only end there because Mr. Yeshua Morake has joined us right here. He is a dynamic leader and dedicated to youth empowerment in South Africa. So I just want you to be there. Do not go anywhere. Just make sure that you get ready for this beautiful and wonderful conversation we are about to have with him. He is here. 5 minutes till we hit 9 o'clock. All I need you to do is to grab a cup of coffee, comment, and keep those comments coming because it is Monday, and Monday are for sharing what happened during our weekend. I know some of you were celebrating Africa Day in style as we did, and we shared that with you. So please do make sure that you share with us on what is Africa Day in your own definition. We were struggling to define it because a lot of people have so many definitions of what Africa Day means to them. But we are here to help you as we played those exclusive interviews from Memaralo and Miss Nikki B, and also the students from the orchestra, right? So you are eligible to do that with us on the Vooka Breakfast Show. So I think everything is good. My technicals, can you confirm we're good to go? TC, are you still good, man? How was the conversation with Mr. Saki?
Okay. So at first, I was a bit nervous, speaking to such a powerhouse. He's an MC, and as you said, he's a success coach. And this man has done so many amazing things in our community. And speaking to him, you could hear that. And he tells the truth, he's quite impactful in the way in which he always hands it back to you. And like he said, I love that analogy he made with the globe and the world being in your hands, and that you should start where you are with what you have. And of course, and how he just said, we are dope.
The Vooka team is dope.
The Vooka team is dope, man.
Yeah, man.
And truer words were never spoken.
Yeah, man. Dope team and dope guest we have. And speaking of dope guest, Mr. Yeshua is right here with us. Mr. Yeshua, let's get straight into the conversation. Good morning, and how are you doing this morning, my good sir?
Good morning, guys. I'm doing well. Amazing. I had the luxury of listening in on that interview, so I can corroborate what you guys are saying.
Yeah.
Phenomenal. So I'm doing great. I'm up, awake. I was up late the whole of last week because I have an 8-month-old at home. But we get up, so he helps me get up.
Nice, man. Yes, man. We need to get up, and as we are the slogan hashtag the Vooka Nation, let's Vooka, and make sure that we put that impact out there. So before we get into the conversation, just to knowing who you are and what you do in contrast, yesterday it was Africa Day. So we are asking everyone who's joining us today and for the rest of the week and also for the rest of the month on what does Africa Day mean to them? So when it comes to you, when you hear Africa Day, what comes to your mind?
Very, very profound question. I think for me, in light of fatherhood especially, if I think of what Africa Day would mean, I would think it's a returning to identity. And I'll tell you why, because Rustenburg. But when I look at my son, so I'm married to a South African woman. She's raised in South Africa. Her family comes from Mozambique. So there's so much mixture in this young boy. When I look at him, I'll often chat to my wife and I'll say to her, this boy has a huge task ahead of him. He has to learn, he's learning English. He has to learn Setswana, he has to learn Portuguese, he has to learn Tsonga, because these are all part of his roots. And I think that for me is motivational now. When I was younger, it was more aspirational for us to try and be like America. Today, I want to know more about who I am. So if you ask me what Africa is about, I would say a returning to identity, because our Africanness is always under attack. For young black people to be proud of who they are, to know that God has chosen them the way they are. He's designed us this way. This shade is not a mistake. Whether it's slightly lighter than mine or darker than mine, it's not a mistake. And everything that comes with it. So Africa Day is a returning to identity for me.
Wonderful, man. Returning to your true identity. Man, I love
those
it.
Words,
I love it, man. I hope that everyone who is listening, because some of the people are still, struggling to define what Africa Day means to them. But now let's get straight into who you are. Yeshua Moraka. Yeshua Moraka, right? Thank you for that.
A very, very profound name that he has there.
Yeah. So I think you can also put that into how did the name come about and what does it mean for some of the people who don't know what Yeshua means, because you just mentioned that very, very profound name. Yeah, man. So please, man, take us through who you are, what you do.
Yeah, thank you so much for the question. I think first and foremost, when defining myself, I would say that I'm a child of God. This is my identity. If there's nothing else you add to that, I'm happy. But if I have to add the extras, I would then move on to the fact that I'm a husband of one wife, and my wife wants to keep it that way. A lovely wife, her name is Jenny, and we have a son together. His name is Kai Finyang. So I'm a father, I'm a husband, and I'm a child. And then beyond that, if I start speaking about some of the things that I do, I'm definitely a community developer. I love people. I love the youth, and not limited to youth, but I definitely love the youth of our nation, inspiring them, walking with them, living with them, and just helping them to realize the potential that God has placed inside of them. Coming back to my name, the name Yeshua. Why do I have this name? My father is a bit of a Hebrew scholar, so all of my siblings have Hebrew names.
Wow.
What's interesting is that he named us, each has a Hebrew name, and then we have another name. So to represent different parts of the world. So I'm Yeshua Francois to represent it's Hebrew and then Europe. And then my other siblings have names representing all parts of the world, including South Africa. So one of us has a Zulu name, there's a Shona name in there.
Wow.
All these representations.
Yeah.
And I think the reason behind that was that God is for his people.
Yeah.
But he's grafting the rest of us into that. Yeah. And what does it mean? Yeshua, direct translation is Jesus.
Told ya.
The definition of the word, though, is God saves. So, and I believe the way we name our children is important.
Yeah.
So, Blame my dad. If anyone asks me for that
to blame my dad.
Yeah.
I appreciate your dad for giving you that name because it speaks to what you do. I mean, Yeshua, your journey as it went from started off as a general worker, right? And then you went into working in a non-profit. So what kept you going when you had every reason to give up?
Well, actually, I started off as a general worker in a non-profit organization.
Okay.
A different one, but and then from there worked at a church. And so what's kept me going? Listen, initially I wanted to pursue a career in the arts because that's actually my passion. I love writing. I studied as an actor, and so I'm very passionate about that, music, that sort of thing. But God pursued me and was like, you have to make a difference to other people. And I remember there was a time in my life where I was like, this is not for me. And then I had a conversation with somebody, and this is probably what's kept me going. I said to him, this is not what I want to do. You know, I'm gifted. I want to go do other things. And he said to me, if you don't do it, who do you suppose should step up and fill the gap? And that was a simple question, but so useful to me because it's really helped guide my life since then. Whenever there's a gap, whenever there's a need, I've noticed that people who have this tendency of going, somebody must come and make a difference.
Like somebody must come and save us.
Okay, but if not you, then
if not you, like Saki Paddy, it all has to start with you, man.
Exactly. So that's what keeps me going is that everything we're going through, everything we're doing, there's a purpose behind it. So whatever I feel, if it's negative, the Bible says weeping may last through the night, but joy comes in the morning. So whatever we go through is not forever. That for me is always at the forefront of my mind.
Just for a moment.
It's just for a moment.
It's
just for a moment. Trump only embarrass us forever.
I love that, man. I love
It's
that.
very beautiful, man. It's very beautiful. Because also hearing that you're a dynamic leader, man, and you're dedicated to youth empowerment. And I just wanted to get in that conversation because we are seeing that the youth today, it's different from back then. So now how do you get into the space of empowering the youth and why?
Look, it's very simple. I think God has given us 2 ears and 1 mouth. So I think if we start by listening, we then earn the right to be able to speak into people's lives. We're living in a time where it's easy. I think you guys are doing a phenomenal job. You really are.
Thank you so
and
much.
I've been stalking your socials. I've followed everything from weeks ago, just trying to acquaint myself with what you do. So it's very easy for anyone to go and buy a microphone, buy some cameras, and shoot some stuff and suppose that you have something to say to us, right? But I think through the power of listening intently with care, we earn the right to speak into people's lives. So even with the youth, it's no different. You know, I've seen people think I need to buy the coolest sneakers or be in with the culture. It's like, that's all good, right? Like I don't hate. Like I'm okay with culture. I fit in. That's okay. But that's not what makes a difference. Because relevance is always changing. In 10 years' time, all of us will be old, will be relevant.
True.
Relevance is ever changing, but I think listening is never out of fashion. So if I have a lot of young people that will hit me up and say, I need to talk, man, I'm struggling with this, I'm struggling with porn addiction, I'm struggling with this, I'm struggling with that. My mom, I haven't spoken to my dad in 10 years, my mom and I are fighting, and I go, let's talk. Let's talk. I think if more people were prepared to listen to young people, you'd be surprised how much. I think by listening, we can train them to hear what we have to say. And I think we have something to say that could be of value to them.
I mean, of course, it's like we were talking and how we were talking about, Africa Day and what it means to be African. I mean, most of how knowledge was passed down in Africa was that, like, the older generation sitting with the youth and imparting stories, telling them stories, knowledge in that way, where it was storytelling and all that. So, I mean, at the Mdeni Skills Development Center, right, you said you're looking at tackling youth unemployment head on. So I know, one of the biggest conversations going on in South Africa now is skills, skill this, skill that. So what kind of training and, life skills are you offering there, and how are young people responding to that?
Yeah. Thanks for the question. Let me start off by introing our NGO, right?
Yes,
I work
please.
for a phenomenal organization. It's called the Abraham Kriel Bambanani. And Mdeni Skills Development Center is a program within this NGO.
Okay.
And really, to answer your question, what I would say is this. Our actual mandate and our goal is not limited to skills. I'll tell you why. Because I suppose there's a million other institutions out there that offer even higher education than we do.
Yes.
But it's the idea of empowering the youth within our community of Mdeni and surrounding communities to realize that, for me, it's not about a particular skill, but it's the idea that once you acquire a skill, you've actually acquired something bigger than the skill itself. It's a revelation of possibility. Do you know what I'm saying? It's almost like if you shoot a video and you get a like and a comment, you realize that, somebody is willing to listen to this. So that's actually our mandate. And at the moment, what do we offer? We offer 3 courses. We have a course in tiling and painting. That's a practical skill. We have a computer course. And then we also have an agriculture course. Our courses speak very much to, sometimes I feel like skills that are innate to us as Africans.
I was about to say.
If you think agriculture is very innate to us, and it's something that I even feel like as we develop as a society, it's something we need to return to.
We do, because food security depends on it.
That's another chat altogether. We in trouble.
One of the biggest things is connecting with the community. Now let's speak about this unique ability of yours, which is connecting with the youth.
Yes.
Please just walk us through that, because I know different and other leaders who failed and say, you know what, the youth, man, they are a group of people who are troublesome and hard to connect with. But now, as you, how do you do it?
If somebody described me the way you've just sort of reiterated how people speak about the youth, I would not be interested to speak. I like using the analogy of love for everything, because everybody can relate to love. We are all either in love or we've been heartbroken. Whether you've been in a relationship or not.
Yes.
I had a crush on her and she didn't want me back. My heart's shattered. So we can all relate to that. And it's this. I'll often ask, hey, ladies, if a guy approached you and everything he meant, like he just nitpicked at all the things that are wrong with you, and then said, hey, would you like to go on a date with me? How many, who's going to say, yeah, sure, let's do this? No one. So I think that's the first mistake, is that we start by critiquing their mistakes. So how do I do it? Very simple. Number one, I've been a young person who's made countless errors. And even as an adult, I make countless errors. So I think I get down from this pedestal. Sometimes when I listen to adults who speak to young people, sometimes we're very preachy about it. You young people, you this.
There's a certain filial piety to it.
Oh my Lord. So and I give a practical example. This is something I've witnessed, right? Where we had an elder reprimanding a young person who was getting married about the things that they were doing, only to find that the elder who was reprimanding had made the same mistakes. And I was like, you need to approach this completely differently. You need to get that person under your arm and just say, hey, listen, I've been here, brother. I've been here. We ran away. We did this. We did that. So I think by doing that, you really win. I do it practically. Can you imagine where I work? What I often like to do is get young people, when we have a new cohort, I literally get them into a room. And I start by degrading myself. Or I love self-deprecation because it's useful. And I'll sit them in a room and I say to them, guys, whether you like me or not is irrelevant. Okay? I get it. Like, we don't even come from the same corner of the world. I am Kichi's boy. I'm coming with my accent. When you are where you are, I don't really fit in. And I say, okay, great. Like, if you want to judge me, that's okay. Your accent, my accent tells us nothing more than where we come from. Right? You didn't choose that. I didn't choose that. But we are here now. So what are we going to do about it? And I always say to young people this. sometimes the Lord wraps the answer to your question or your prayer with the wrapping paper you don't like. It's a person who doesn't sound the way you want them to sound. I'm telling you, without fail, once I've done this, very easy. It's very easy to connect. Because then they realize, oh snap, we're not so different.
He's just human.
We are, and then the another thing that's attached to that is really, I believe it's about affirming the value in people. For a lot of young people, they've never been affirmed. So sometimes, just looking a person in the eyes and saying to them, I've noticed X, Y, Z. And I want to tell you that that's amazing. It's so amazing. You don't even realize your potential. And you'll see how shell-shocked a person is. For many people, it's the first time they've ever heard something like that.
That keeps them going, man.
Yeah.
The power of affirmation.
Yes, have you seen just by telling someone how beautiful, look at how beautiful you smile. It just makes them smile more. Yes, so you're talking about focusing on the positive attributes of our youth more than critiquing and in a way downing them on what they haven't perfected, because life is a journey and they're essentially at the beginning of theirs. So you talk like you say you've led youth ministries and mentored hundreds. So now from doing that, what are the challenges, the biggest ones, of course, that you have noticed that young people face today, and how do you help them overcome those?
Without fail, the biggest challenge that young people have is inconsistency.
Wow.
Because listen, often we're dealing with the symptoms of a deeper
root issue,
right? So people will complain, oh, young people are using substances, they're doing this. I'm telling you, you dig deep, you'll find that there's inconsistency, and inconsistency often is spurred or fueled by insecurity. Do you know what I'm saying? Think about it. Like if my dad left at a certain age, okay, he's back now, we have a good relationship, but he left at a certain age. That birthed insecurity in me, made me very inconsistent. When you are not used to stability, it's very difficult to be stable. And the second part of your question is, how do we engage that? Well, how you tackle inconsistency and insecurity. Number one, insecurity I've already answered is through affirmation. But how you tackle inconsistency is by modeling consistency. I like to say this because sometimes when I speak this way, people say, "Oh, that's very philosophical." let's be practical
about it.
And I always say to people, there is nothing more practical than being consistently that which you preach. And then you have to. I like to emphasize this, man. You have to earn the right to speak into people's lives. People want to come for a 3-day workshop to change people's lives. Guys, it doesn't work. No your life has never been changed by a 3-day workshop. Even if it was, it's what happened is within that 3-day workshop, something grabbed you about something you've heard and have witnessed. That's why when I'm moved in a 3-day workshop, I don't call the facilitator, I call Yeshua, that I know. This guy, he's been preaching us for the last 3 years. I finally get it. That's always the case. Then I have some young person I haven't seen in 4 years suddenly call me. Can we meet for coffee? I need to talk to you about something. Right? So I think it's through consistency. Whatever you desire to see. What's the saying? Be the change you desire to see.
Wonderful, man. Wonderful. Because by listening, you earn the right to speak. Those are beautiful words, man. Those are beautiful words. With the work that you're doing, man, I think someone would want to know, man, in terms of the inspiration that you equip on these young ones. Because now we spoke about connection. Now I want us to speak about the challenges that you always hear when young people, approach you. So I'm just trying to mitigate this thing of maybe if a young person is listening and then they hear you on this platform like, I don't think Mr. Yeshua can speak to me about this depression that I'm going through. So what are some of the challenges and what is it that you would like to say to someone who's listening, that they have these problems and these challenges that they're going through and they want to approach you?
Listen, anytime somebody finds themselves in a place of depression, again, there's going to be a root cause to that.
Yeah.
The first thing I say to people is this: when we study our root causes, irrespective of our socioeconomic status, our net worth, or whatever, if we study the root causes of why we find ourselves down, you're going to find that there is a common thread through all of that, right? And so once we understand that, you can understand and accept this, that there is just about anyone can connect with you. I don't always have to know the or understand experientially, let's put it that way. I don't have to understand experientially every little thing you've been through. Because the truth is, you might tell me that you grew up in very difficult circumstances. I mean, I have a young guy who I've been mentoring, and he listen, when he sat me down and expressed these life experience, I realized I have no clue what you're going through.
Yeah.
Listen, talking about I'm at home, I'm forced to be the man of the house. I said to him, listen, I'm raised soft. My mother took care of me. I actually had to say to my mom, stop.
Yeah.
I think I need to be a man now when I was very old. So, but how was I able to connect and speak to a young man like that? I was able to connect with him because I showed him, hey, listen, maybe not in the area you're struggling with, but let me show you how I ended up on antidepressants.
Wow.
Let me show you how. I have a family member that's close to me that nearly took their life multiple times. I witnessed that. Let me tell you, that scars you in a different way. You know, I have family members that are addicted to drugs. That scars you in a different way. I've experienced things that are different. My dad left at a certain age. I didn't have somebody who could guide me through life, and I was alone. So maybe not in the exact same way, but you'll notice that you felt pain, I felt pain. And by the way, I don't need to study your pain and get a thesis on your pain. Am I here to study your pain, or am I here to point you to a solution? You don't want to stay there. So I think, for me, that's how I speak, and it seems to resonate, you know? It seems to resonate.
Nice. Yeah, man. I mean, depression, bullying, and broken relationships are tough realities for our youth. And I mean, I love that you're using this platform, you know, to build that resilience and create that hope, and that within your line of work, that's what you do. So, I mean, now let's talk about wins, right? What does a win look like in your life, in your line of work? And of course, can you share perhaps a success story that has stayed with you up until today?
Absolutely. So coming back to our specific work, okay, I'll use one example because this is a young man that I love so much right now. One day I'm at our skills center. We had students that were doing our computer course, and there was one young man in particular. Now, I was outside and, you know, just walking around. I don't even remember what I was doing. And there was a young man who walked by me with a group of people, and I can't remember what he was doing, but he was very loud and he was just jovial. He was just full of so much joy. And I turned to somebody and I asked them, who is that person? Because, okay, bear in mind, I'm not a facilitator there. So there's a lot of students. It's not like I know everybody by name. I actually have a team. They're even more phenomenal people than myself. So I see this young man and I'm like, who is that? And somebody tells me, oh, this is his name, whatever. I said, please ask him to come and see me in my office. And he comes to my office and we have a conversation, only to discover that his smile was hiding horrors that you just, I mean, was shocking, you know, but we started to chat. And what drew me to him is just his essence, you know. So we were able to mentor myself, my coordinator and the facilitator were able to mentor this young man. Once he completed the course, we gave him a bit of coaching. So one of the things we also do is we connect with organizations that are looking to take on young people, inexperienced people.
Okay.
Because, you know, sometimes they say, bring a qualification.
Or bring
3 years of experience.
10 years experience, and that time you're like 21.
So we're often looking for organizations that can help with that. By the way, if there's an organization that's listening, hit us up.
Yes.
So then we found such an organization that was willing to give him an interview, started coaching this young man, spent some time with him. Listen, we had very difficult conversations. Very difficult conversations.
Yeah.
Mentorship is a tough thing to do with people. You know, I had to sort of get him ready for this. And then we sent him for the interview. Long story short, he ended up getting a temp job. This is more than a year now. He's still working there.
Oh, wow.
I make fun of him because he's gained weight. His face is now chubby. When I see him, I say, life is really good now. Somebody's eating nice. So that's one success story. There's so many other success stories of people furthering their education. I mean, we have a young lady who made it all the way to Dubai, working in Dubai for a season.
Nice,
So you see those sort of success stories that are phenomenal.
Yeah.
For me, there is no bigger success story though
Yeah.
than a student that leaves filled with hope.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, beautiful, man. Beautiful. And I think this, it gives motivation so that the center can always, be there for the young ones who want help. Now let's speak about assurance of the center being there. How do you guys sustain yourself to make sure that the center is always open for young people?
At the moment, our funding or funders or people that work alongside us would include the Department of Social Development. We get funding from them. So big shout out to the department.
Yeah.
And then we have a lot of other donors that work alongside us.
Yeah.
So these would be corporations, in some instances it's churches, but even individuals that choose to give. That's literally how we keep the doors open. But you're talking about institutional reputation that precedes all of us. You're talking about 129 years of existence here. So a lot of long existing relationships with the organizations, but always looking for organizations that are aligned, that have integrity, that believe in the same values to partner alongside us. That's how we do it. And I'm definitely praying because I believe in this organization.
Yeah.
I'm praying that it could 10x in the next few years.
Yeah.
Because if it does, I mean, the integrity that exists within this organization, you're not going to find issues of people stealing money within the organization. What we get reaches our beneficiaries.
Yeah.
And that's why I work here now.
Yeah.
I would leave tomorrow if that changes.
Yeah.
So that's how we do it.
Nice. In conclusion, TC?
Yeah, because I mean, this speaks to what I wanted to ask you right now, which was, what's next for you, and your vision for youth empowerment in South Africa as a whole.
Yeah.
Wow, that's an amazing question. I think in terms of from a professional space, I would say I've just answered that.
Yes.
Listen, I always say this to our students, that my vision is that institution would be it would be a hub for world-class individuals.
Yeah.
Because my vision is that imagine us just birthing constantly people out of Mdeni who go out to make a difference in South Africa and the world. So professionally, that's my vision. And that's about taking our operations there to another level.
Yeah.
And then on a personal level, just to continue mentoring, to perhaps in the future, this is something I'm investigating, to set some sort of structure, an organization of my own that looks to mentor youth in South Africa. I'm currently writing as well. I've written a book called The Gideon Complex, which is about dealing with the insecurities that come from the stuff that happens in life to become everything we've been called to become. So in terms of my personal life, wherever God leads me, I'm happy, man. I'm just here to serve. And then, perhaps more importantly, I want to have 6 children. So I hope my wife is watching this. 6 children that I can hire. But I think, if I make a difference on a one-on-one level, and then God will open doors for us to do it, to scale it. I'm happy.
Wonderful, man. If someone wants to get hold of you, and they want to reach out, where can they find you?
So me on a personal level, you can find me on my socials, first name, second name, Yeshua Moraka. If you search that, you'll find me anywhere on socials. And if you want to email me, you can email me. My email address is skillsmanager@abramkriel.org. So I'll spell that. So it's skills manager. I think skills and manager is pretty obvious. Abram Kriel at the word Abraham, ABRAHAM, Kriel, KRIEL.org.
Yeah.
So you can get a hold of me either one of those two ways.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, man, for taking your time to join us right here, man, on the Vooka Breakfast Show.
Thank you for having me. And I just want to say, guys, you guys are phenomenal. And I think you are going to become way bigger than what you think you are. And you're a necessary voice in this here community, this country, and beyond.
Thank you so much, man, for that.
Man, the
It is
wonderful
our
words
pleasure.
that we've been getting from our guests really is part of why we do what we do, because, you know, we know you have a message and we want to help you put it out there, you know, and we want to raise awareness to the things that matter. So, yeah, what an incredible reminder from Yeshua Moraka that, you know what, leadership isn't only about titles, it's about transformation. So thank you to him for showing us that it's not where you start, but how you serve, and that defines your impact. So if you've been waiting for a sign to rise, reset, or reach out, this is it. Get involved, Mzansi. Empower someone. And remember, when you lift others, you elevate yourself. And of course, you know what? Catch more inspiring change makers every Monday here on the Vooka Breakfast Show on our Movers and Shakers. And that's what Yeshua Moraka has been right here in the Soweto community of Mdeni. A mover and shaker where we celebrate purpose in action.
Yeah. Speaking of game changers, man, after the break, we're going to have Neo Patrick Takanyane, who is an entrepreneur and a machine specialist. So please do not go anywhere. Monday motivation. So I hope wherever you are at home, and you're getting motivated because by the words of Mr. Sadipaki, he says, you define how you want to see your world around you. And from Mr. Yeshua Muraka, he was with us before we went to a break. He said, by listening, you earn the right to speak. So beautiful motivation that we are getting right here on the Vooka Breakfast Show. And I hope that you guys are with us and you can connect with us through social media platforms. We are live right now on YouTube and Facebook. Leave down your comment by using the hashtag Vooka Breakfast Show. But you know that the conversation does not only end here. Mr. Steven, man, are you motivated?
Motivated, man. Motivated, bro.
Yeah.
Woke up motivated, had motivational words from motivational speaker, man. There's, life, man. Take life as it go. Wake up and make your bed.
Yeah.
That's going to make the rest of the day go as planned,
Yeah, man. Beautiful conversation also, play part in our lives. Because one of the things when it comes to beautiful conversations is the conversations that we have amongst ourselves with our friends, with our families. Because now Yeshua spoke about these parents who force a child, who speak to their kids when reprimanding, disciplining, and they want kids to do things, they would the same mistakes they were doing. They did. They are reprimanding the kids rather than showing them on who they can become themselves. Because the power is showing, what your kid can do, the purpose that they have. All you need to do is to support that, man. Because from the famous words of Trevor, I remember watching this podcast, Trevor said, nowadays, man, parents, they teach and show kids to become what they failed to become. And that puts so much pressure. So that's why we are here, man, to do this wonderful, to be here on Monday, man, to have those wonderful conversations. And speaking of wonderful conversation, we can see right there that Mr. Neo Patrick Takanyane is online. So I just wanted to get confirmation if Mr. Neo can hear me. Good morning, Mr. Neo. Can you hear me? Morning, Mr. Neo. Can you hear me, Mr. Neo?
Are we audible, Mr. Neo?
Yeah, I think Mr. Neo is struggling to hear us. Let's try this again. Mr. Neo, good morning. Can you hear me? Yeah, so I'm just going to let our technicals to deal with that while Mr. Neo is, trying to receive our audio. Mr. Neo, can you hear me? Can you confirm? Yes, sir. Yes, we can hear you, but from far.
Mr. Neo, do you have a wire headset? Because the Bluetooth, we can't really hear you clearly. We hear you from afar. Do you have a wire headset?
Let me disconnect this.
Or maybe switch off the Bluetooth and use the audio for the phone.
Yeah. Switch off the Bluetooth and use the phone audio.
Yeah, so that we can get a clear audio from your side.
You'll still be able to hear us.
Yes. Okay.
Can you hear?
Yeah, now it's starting to get better. It's starting to get... We're not receiving him.
Try saying something else again. Let's hear.
Are you with me now?
Yes.
Yes, now we're with you.
Yes, we are with you. So now, Mr. Neo, I'm going to ask you, to put your phone on landscape. When you open your mobile data, there's that option that shows you to rotate your phone. Yes, so that we can get a full screen just to enhance, the view for people who are watching right there at home.
Watching at home.
Yeah. While you're still doing that, man, while you're still doing that, guys, for those who are watching, yes, there we go. There we go, Mr. Neo. There we go, Mr. Neo. So I think we are ready to get into the conversation with you. Once again, thank you so much for taking your time, and we welcome you on the Vooka Breakfast Show. Your energetic starter to the day. Good morning, and how are you doing this morning, my good sir?
I'm doing very much well. I hope you guys are doing well, and everybody that is watching is doing well. And I'm honored to be part of the breakfast show today, and I'm glad to be here.
Yeah. We really, really appreciate your time. So, my name is Moketi Maimane, and I am joined by Steven right here. We are going to be conducting this interview, and I hope we're going to have a very beautiful conversation because people are watching on YouTube and Facebook. So, let's start, by you telling us, for someone who is watching and don't know who you are, man, please give them a short description of who is Neo Patrick Takanyane.
Shortly, now Patrick Takanyane is an entrepreneur and a machine inventor. I work with a building machine, different types of machine, from your ice making machine, your candle making machine, you name them. There's a lot of them that I'm doing. I was born and raised in the Free State, in the Bloemfontein area.
Man, wonderful. So now you, as someone who is, innovating and in a space of machines, before, we get into the conversation about the types of machines that you work with, man, where is the love for machines coming from? Man?
Yeah,
Please
how
take
did it
us,
start?
through that.
Love for machines, I wouldn't say started with the machines. I'm actually more into business. Really into being into business. I started doing business like I was in the fast food industry, and then this is when I was expanding my business, I came across this business of making machinery, and I felt that this is what I'm passionate more about instead of the fast food industry, the livestock industry. My passion now derived from all those to the machinery.
Okay. I hear you. I hear you with the machinery. Here's a question. Yeah. So regarding the machinery that you do you make machines from scratch or do you maintain the machines as to the company's requests? Which is which?
No, we do machinery from the scratch.
Oh, okay. Please go on. Just give us a brief understanding.
Let me say, for instance, one wants a machine that makes candles. This is the final product. The candles are the final product. I myself buy the tools, or let me put it this way: the material that is going to build the machine. I get with my teams, a team of the boiler makers. I told them the sketch. We started building the machine from scratch until the final product, where we are now testing the machine.
I hear. Interesting.
Wonderful, man.
Very, very interesting. And how did you get into the machinery? The world of machinery. How did you realize from working in the fast food industry, as you said, to boiler making machines for companies? How did that transition happen?
A funny thing is that this is not something that I would say I have qualifications for, but first machine that I built was that is, your ice pops, or what do you call them? In the pizza, the ice guava, right?
Yeah.
That was the first I ever built. And then that I saw a gap in the market that, no, you know what, being in the manufacturing industry has a lot of money way than this. And then my passion also came with that, making the researches, having the sleepless nights, working on this, trying to work on something that how am I going to make this thing a reality? How am I going to make this machine work? That is how it came about.
Ah, very wonderful, man. And I know that, someone who is watching right now, they definitely want to learn. And of course, they are learning because I think one of the questions a young person will ask you is, where did you study? And now you're answering that you did not go to school. That shows the determination and the passion that you have for this machinery, innovation field that you are in. So now, for someone to get an understanding just to, okay, if I want to start and to be where you are, what advice do you have for them and which machine can they start building?
Sorry, can you repeat the question again?
Yeah, so I was asking that if a young person is watching, because there's something you mentioned, that you did not go to school for this, and now this speaks to the passion that you have. So, to a young person or to someone who is watching right now, what advice would you give them to start, and which machine would you advise them to build?
Oh, okay. In terms of advising them of which machinery to build, there are machines that are very simple. These ones, there are others that are manual. We have the manual ones, the semi-automated machines, the automated, fully automated machines. The fully automated machines and the semi-automated machines are a bit complex. But the manual machine, like the one of that makes your ice guava, your lollipop, your ice lollies, and what else? No, there's a lot. But there are ones that are manual. The ones that are manually operated are very simple. The ones that are automated are a bit more complex. This now comes to terms whereby I now have to work with your qualified boiler makers, bring them on board when I'm working on a certain project. I just if it gets to that point, I call an expert and work with an expert on that project.
Ah, very wonderful, man. Very wonderful. And I just hope that, when we have so much time, we can speak and delve into the conversation, of the different kinds of machine that you guys have done, what they do, the lifespan of those machines. Because now, Mr. Tommy, time, Mr. Newa, time is not on our side, right? So, in terms of making sure that people get hold of you and want to know about the machines, where can people find you?
Our Facebook page is Touchpoint Click app. If not that app, they can follow us on Patrick's Machinery. On Facebook, they can find me as Neo Patrick Takanyane. Or on Instagram is Neo_Takanyane.
Ah, Mr. Neo, thank you so much, man, for taking your time. You spewed so much knowledge, and I'm sure that our viewers at home, they have learned things, that they didn't know. So thank you so much, man, for taking your time to share that information with us.
Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah.
I'm really honored.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure.
It is a pleasure, man.
With the Vooka Nation, everybody that wants to get in contact with you will definitely get in contact with you. So, yeah, man.
Yeah,
wonderful. Great morning.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. That was Neo Patrick Takanyane, a driven entrepreneur and a machine specialist. So what we're going to do right now, because it is Monday, man, and we keep on having these guests for Monday motivation so that we can keep on being motivated. Let us take a short break, and then when we come back online, we have Mr. Tami Mazibugo on the book review. For bookworms, this one is the conversation that you do not want to miss. So let's take a short break and then we come back.
My name is Musi Mist.
My name is Moketi Maimane.
Catch us every weekday morning, Monday to Friday between 7 and 10.
Right here on the Vooka Breakfast Show, brought to you by the Blinko Network.
Always bringing you the best content possible.
Vooka Nati, wake up with us and kickstart your day on a great note.
This is your energetic start to the day.
Escape the ordinary and discover the extraordinary with Swell Appeal Tours. Whether you're a group of friends or a family looking for a memorable getaway, Swell Appeal Tours has you covered. Our all-inclusive tours take you to South Africa's most stunning destinations, from the scenic beauty of Mpumalanga to the vibrant life of Gauteng and the coastal charm of Durban.
Well, yeah, Sugar Blossom memory. Yes. Wow! You wish it was you.
All right, 12 minutes until we hit the 10 o'clock on the dot, and you're still watching the Vooka Breakfast Show. My name is Muketi Maiman. I'm joined here by the one and only Steven LRXD.
Yes, sir. Thank
4-7.
you for saying it right, man. Thank you for
man.
saying it right. Man.
Yeah, I've seen posters that were flying, man, that your name was misspelled.
Hey, man.
Right, we here,
Let's
man.
not talk about that, man. We here.
Yeah, man. But of course, man, speaking of making sure that we stay motivated on this beautiful Monday morning right here on the Vooka Breakfast Show, do make sure that you connect with us on social media platforms. And speaking of connections, there is something that Mr. Hector shared with us on WhatsApp that I want to share with you before we get in a conversation with Mr. Tami Mazibuko right here, who is a dynamic social entrepreneur.
Right. A little message from Hector.
So we were asking people, like, how did they celebrate their Africa Day? So right now on my screen, Hector shared a beautiful pic of his daughter, man. You know, I think that is where they went. You know, I don't know if it's a daycare, but it really looks like
it looks like the Munchkins were out.
Yeah, man.
Having a nice day. You know?
Yeah, man. So you can see, man, those beautiful posters. I'm trying to zoom in just to check what they are built. They are written, I mean. So the one that we see right there, it's written, the future is in our hands. Yes, indeed. You can see you guys are indeed our future leaders. Oh yeah, it's ambulance 10-111. Ambulance and 10-111. We know that ambulance is responsible, man, for transporting people who seek medical assistance. And 10-111 is the one that you dial, of course, when you want the SAPS.
Yeah, the police services.
The police services. So the future is in our hands. These are the future leaders who will be protecting us. These are the future leaders who will be, you know, making sure that the country is in safe hands.
So
right?
in context, we're looking at young doctors
and
young police and
future scientists and things like that, man. South Africa is indeed in good hands.
Yes,
right?
Yes,
so yeah, that's a beautiful picture of Hector's daughter, man, on how they celebrated their Africa Day. While we still have time, you know, you can also tell us, man, on, you know, how did you celebrate? How did you celebrate your Africa Day with your friends and families? So, speaking of celebrating Africa Day and also, you know, bringing you that motivation, we're going to have Mr. Tami Mazibuko, right? Celebrated as the Doyen of Soweto and is a dynamic social entrepreneur. Mr. Tami, good morning. Can you hear me?
Good morning. Yes, sir. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Yes, so
great.
Can we ask you to switch on your cam?
Yeah, so we can have a visual, please.
Oh, let's see.
Yes, sir.
Okay, just a second.
Okay, we'll give you that second. Mo, how do you motivate yourself this morning?
How do I motivate myself?
Yeah, man.
Oh, there we go.
There we go. Okay.
Yeah, before I answer that question, yes, Mr. Tami, that is good. But so that we can enhance the quality of our visuals here, can you please switch on the landscape mode? So you're going to hold your phone in a way that you rotate it, but you need to switch on the rotate screen rotation option right there at the top. And then boom. Let's see if it's on. Yes. Yes.
Okay.
And then
There you go. Don't.
yeah.
Okay, there we go. Oh,
wonderful,
perfect.
wonderful. Yes, Mr. Tammy. And I see Miss Z, you sent a voice note. We're going to play it after this conversation. So please do make sure that you stay tuned. So, Mr. Tammy, thank you so much, man, for making time, to be with us right here on the Vooka Breakfast Show. A very good morning to you, and how are you doing this morning?
No, thank you, sir. Thank you for inviting me to your show and your platform. I'm doing great, sir, today, especially after the Africa Day. So I'm feeling great.
Yeah.
Awesome.
It is a pleasure. It is a pleasure because we've been asking every guest who walked in here today on how Africa Day means to them and how they celebrated it. We are going to ask you that to you, man, when it comes to Africa Day, what comes to your mind?
Obviously, our heritage, our culture, our spirituality, our language, our music. Yeah. So for me, that's culture.
Wonderful, man. So, getting deep into the conversation of what we came here for. You are a dynamic social entrepreneur, and by my understanding, you are a co-founder of Soweto Book Cafe, right?
Yes, sir. I'm the founder, actually, the original.
Yeah.
Awesome.
The founder of Soweto Book Cafe, I founded it in 2018. I wanted to give the community of Soweto access to books and information, which is their basic human rights. So it's the only bookstore and library that's Black owned, and owned by an individual.
Wow,
Interesting.
Nice and very beautiful. Now let's get into the importance of reading in our culture, especially our Black culture. How did that come about, and how did you see that opportunity in our community?
Well, say I used to stay in the city, so I used to stay with lots of intellectual readers, authors, artists. So when I relocated to the township around 2018, I saw that there's a gap. There are low literary space. So myself, I'm a reader. Books have helped me a lot. They've contributed to my personal development and other sectors. So books are very important, my brother. And there's a myth that Black people don't read. So I was trying to dispel that myth that actually we do read, some of us, and we want to encourage others to read as well.
Great. Awesome, man. Awesome. Quick question in terms of the books that you give to the community. What type of books do you give to the community? Is it fictional books? Is it is it stories, documentaries? What type of books are they, or is it just a whole mixture?
It's a whole mixture, my brother. But I recommend African literature the most. Mohudi, Solplaatje, South African literature, African literature. Currently, I'm reading Ben Okri, The Famous Road. It's about a boy who grows up in Nigeria and is facing lots of challenges because he has some spiritual connections, but it's about life in Africa as a whole.
Oh, so you dope. So it caters to the Africans.
Yeah, and everyone's. I have both literary and non-fiction and fiction, biographies, and school textbooks, because I do find people looking for school textbooks, and then I have to supply them.
That's amazing, man.
Yeah,
that's amazing, man.
Now, because you spoke about dispelling the myth of Black people don't read. We know that a lot of people, when they get a book in their hands and they're trying to read a book, it looks long for them. Like they see 900 pages, they're like, no, I'm not going to finish this. So how do you then approach and convince people to fall in love with reading?
Oh, firstly, people should read what they love. They should read only. The start should be what they love, their passion. If they love reading about romance, they should read about romance. If they love reading about business, politics, they should read that. And they should read small books, my dear brother. I recommend people should start small, because they will get to my level, but they must start reading small books. And then eventually their attention span and so forth, and their stamina, because reading takes a stamina. Their stamina will increase. It's like sports. So they have to train their stamina and so forth. But yeah, people must read. There's no pressure. One page a day, one paragraph. It's not a competition. We must just read. when we are relaxed and at home.
Before we read into like 900 pages or 1,000 pages in a book, how does a young black male as yourself find and establish a book center in Soweto? How did that happen?
It's a challenge, my brother, because especially black males, I'm glad you've mentioned, we sort of have a bad image in the community. So I wanted to bring a narrative, like we can contribute as males in building our community. And a library, I thought it's something I'm passionate with. It's what I can provide. If I could provide security basically in the community, I could, but it's not my line of field. So I by the library because I have passion about that. And I host workshops, I invite authors, and we also have an international book fair. So I'm all about promoting literature and giving the community access to books and information.
Very wonderful. And speaking of the Soweto International Book Fair that brings together authors and publishers, how do you now give affirmation to an author that when they come to you and give you their book so that you can sell it, to people, that this book will definitely sell when it's in your store?
Well, we have a large network of readers and buyers. So an author is guaranteed that when they launch their book with us or bring it to us, we'll be able to share it with our audience all over the world, I must say. So we have a large audience and on our social media platform. But the book obviously must be well published, my brother. We must, the industry. So, but I encourage authors to bring their books at the Soweto Cafe. We will help them to sell their books and get them out there.
Yeah, very wonderful, man. I just can't wait, for you to come here in the studio to share some of the books, man, that you have. Because when it comes to book review, we want to do it physically so that people can see the work that you do. So, in conclusion, Mr. Tammy, what advice do you have for an aspiring author out there who is struggling, to finish their book, or is struggling to even put the pen to the paper to become an author?
Well, authors, my dear brother, should be readers, because if you're an author, you should have a whole lot of vocabulary. So that's first I would encourage authors to read a lot. And then when they get ideas, they must jot them down as rough ideas. These days, we also have something like ChatGPT, those AI. They can even use AI just to grow their ideas, not to write the whole book, but just to explore their idea and to actualize the idea. So there are many ways that they can just play around the idea before they produce the actual book with chapters and so forth. So they should have the idea first and then the conclusion and so forth.
Beautiful, Mr. Tammy. Thank you so much for taking your time. And if anyone wants to get hold of you and they want, to share their work with you, where can they get hold of you?
Please give them my number, and then through my social media, my email address is tammy.litebele@gmail.com. My number is 071-481-4419. So to Book Cafe, Facebook, Instagram, X, and all media platforms are available.
Amazing, man. Amazing. And as they say, a book a day keeps the vocabulary at bay. So, yeah, man. Thank you very much, Mr. Tammy. We appreciate you being here. But it would be nice to have you in studio in person, as Mr. Mo said. For the, in action book review, in person, because connection is much more, better like that. You know what I mean?
Thank you.
Absolutely. No, to visit you at the studio. You are doing an amazing job.
Thank you.
We really appreciate it, Mr. Tammy. Yeah, that was Mr. Tammy Mazibuko right here on the Vooka Breakfast Show, making sure that we are well equipped with the knowledge that we need. He is a widely celebrated and the doyen of Soweto, and also a dynamic social entrepreneur. So I hope that you guys have learned a lot. So it is 2 minutes after 10 o'clock, and that's where we're going to end the show. But before we end the show, we're going to end it in style, and looking into celebrating, people people that are growing up, because we did not go through our today in history and to teach you. But today, man, we are celebrating Mr. Dumisani Mngqi, also known as Brother D. Yeah, man. Happy birthday,
bro. Happy birthday,
Happy
bro.
birthday to Mr.
Man.
D, man.
Congrats.
He was born today in 1987 and turning 38 years old. And of course, man, interesting fact about him, he is a musician, an entrepreneur. He has released 3 compilation albums, a triple disc, double disc, and a single disc albums with Soul Candy. He is the founder of an initiative to make Soweto green through recycling, upcycling, and reusing materials to make Soweto and other townships green. His company is called Sebenza Nati. Happy birthday, man, and we wish him all the best, man.
Yes, sir,
I know
yes, sir.
for some of the people that know him right here, yes, they called him Brother D, but we had an employee last year who called him Big D. I don't know what that means. But yeah, man, we have a lot of big D's flowing around. We have DD, Big D.
There's a lot of D's.
Yeah, but it's something that we will touch on the next time. We're celebrating Mr. D today.
Happy birthday, bro.
He is growing up, man. Happy birthday, happy birthday. May God continue to bless with numerous years to come. So, before we close off, man, I have another voice note that I want to listen from Z.
Let's hear what Z say.
Good morning, Vooka Breakfast Show. Ooh, I'm on and off because Pumawu meeting, so I've been catching in and out of the Vooka Breakfast Show, but I'd like to send a special dedication to my brother Dumsane. It's his birthday today, and can you please wish him a happy birthday on behalf of all the Vooka Nation? Happy birthday, big brother Dumza. May God bless you and hope you enjoy your day.
To
you.
Happy birthday.
Hooray! Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. That's how we celebrate his birthday today, because the celebration just started right now. But because we are about to end the show, thank you so much for being with us. This was a very beautiful Monday with us right here on the Vooka Breakfast Show. Do make sure that you catch us tomorrow, same time, same place, right here. My name is Moketi Maiman, aka Max for Maximum Temperature. I am the son of the Mother Nature. Reberekisa generator Sayonara. Steve.
Sayonara. This is your boy LXRD_47 with Steven. Nothing is ever even. Yes, sir. See you next time. Share, comment, subscribe. Yes, sir.
Yeah, and speaking of leaving you with beautiful moments right here on the Vooka Breakfast Show, we're going to share you a beautiful performance by Angelica at the Morik Isaacson Center for Music, where he blessed us with a beautiful orchestra. I know some of you just know only Yaga Kabza the Small, right? The Red Bull Symphonic performance. But guess what, Mr. Angelic brought it here in Soweto for us to enjoy.
Don't feel the FOMO.
Yeah, man. That's how we are going to close our show. Enjoy this beautiful performance by Mr. Angelic. Shut up.
Ngiphe isikhathi ngizobuya nemali nanathula ngakhali cela ungiphe isikhathi ngizobuya nemali ngoba sekurapha emhlabeni ngane zethu silala ngendlala baba ngicela intethelelo ngoba sekurapha emhlabeni ngane zethu silala ngendlala baba ngicela intethelelo. Chula, chulunga ka. sasemncane wena melukule wobu sasemncane melukule sasemncane melukule baba bamajaivane